Important note: this is timeless and powerful wisdom that has influenced and improved the life of millions. Now that you have attracted it to your awareness, you must install it deep into your subconscious mind to experience a real change. Read the description below this video and choose the links among multiple options that will aid you in achieving the optimum results you seek. The journey to success is just one decision away. Thank you for listening and subscribing to Top Mindset Growth Channel.
Go from scarcity to superabundance. Change your frequency, change your life. There are two types of people in this world: those who live in lack and limitation, and those who swim in oceans of superabundance, not because of what they have in their hands, but because of what they hold in their minds. One wakes up every day scanning for what is missing. The other wakes up commanding the invisible forces of the universe with the power of thought, belief, and vibration. This is not fiction. This is not wishful thinking. This is law, as certain as gravity, as precise as the rising sun. You are either tuned to prosperity or you are broadcasting poverty. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and magnetically. The outer world is only the echo. The real war is fought in silence, within the chambers of your inner frequency. Scarcity is not just a lack of money. It is a mindset, a code etched into your subconscious, passed down like an invisible inheritance from generations that struggled, toiled, and accepted suffering as destiny. But here's the truth that shatters the lie. You were not born to be poor. You were born to awaken. Look around. Tesla didn't wait for permission to build the future. Edison failed 10,000 times and still struck gold in the dark. Rockefeller, a boy selling candies on the streets, built a fortune so vast it still echoes a century later. Do you think these men were just lucky? Or were they tapped into a current of wealth, an inner knowing, a frequency that lifted them above the noise of mediocrity? Superabundance isn't found. It's summoned, pulled from the quantum field by the hand of focused consciousness. Your beliefs are the dial. Your emotions are the amplifier. Your actions are the conductor. And every time you think a thought of gratitude, of possibility, of daring faith, you raise your frequency. And the universe has no choice but to match it. But most people never touch this truth. They are tuned to a station of fear, doubt, and mental poverty. They listen to the static of limitation their entire lives. They never realize that they can change the channel. They can rewrite the script. They can rise. Understand this. Your thoughts are electrical signals. Your feelings are magnetic fields. Together they emit a broadcast. That broadcast determines your life. Dr. Joseph Murphy wrote that the subconscious mind accepts whatever you impress upon it. It does not argue, it does not reason. It receives your repetition, your emotionalized words, and your inner pictures as gospel. You tell it, I am broke, and it builds more of that reality. You tell it, I am rich in mind and becoming rich in form. And it begins to mold new circumstances with military precision. You have been hypnotized by scarcity, hypnotized by the headlines, by the voices of those who gave up on their dreams and now want you to believe that dreams are foolish. But you must snap out of it. You must break the trance and reawaken your inner creator, because that is who you truly are. Wallace D. Wattles once said that the very best thing you can do for the world is to become rich. Why? Because wealth is not just accumulation. It is transformation. It is the power to give, to uplift, to inspire. But you cannot lift others from a pit you refuse to climb out of yourself. You must rise first. Every great man and woman who changed the world began with a vision the world could not see. Helen Keller saw with her soul. Charlie Chaplin spoke to the world without a single word. Andrew Carnegie, a poor Scottish immigrant, envisioned empires long before they were built. They lived by vibration, They tuned in before they ever arrived. Now here you are. You stand at the edge of the old and the new. Behind you, scarcity, fear, stagnation. Ahead, superabundance, flow, creation. But you must choose. And your choice is not made once. It is made every single day in the quiet sanctuary of your mind. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So if you want more wealth, become wealth in thought. If you want more success, become success in action. If you want more love, become love in vibration. This is the secret. This is the frequency shift that turns paupers into princes and average men into legends. When Henry Ford was told he couldn't mass produce cars, he didn't argue. He acted. He didn't ask if the world was ready. He made the world ready. He operated from faith, not fear. He saw the invisible and pulled it into the visible. And every time you act in faith instead of hesitation, you do the same. But faith without discipline is a delusion. That's where most fall. They visualize for 5 minutes and complain for the rest of the day. They affirm wealth while doubting in their hearts. They meditate once, then drown themselves in mental garbage. You must become ruthless in your mental hygiene. You must guard your mind like the vault of a billionaire. Discipline is spiritual armor. It is not punishment. It is power. It is the proof that you believe in your vision. A man without discipline is like a ship without a rudder, tossed by every wave, guided by nothing. But the disciplined man, he becomes a force of nature. The Wright brothers had no business building machines that fly, yet they defied gravity itself because they were governed by a higher law, persistence. When others laughed, they labored. When they crashed, they recalibrated. They were not aligned with public opinion. They were aligned with truth. You must adopt the same attitude. If the world calls you crazy, good. That means you're thinking beyond its limitations. That means you've stepped outside the prison of consensus reality and are starting to think like a creator. Creation demands clarity. What do you want, truly? Not what your parents wanted, not what society told you is safe. What sets your soul on fire? Because superabundance does not respond to vague wishes. It responds to specific desire backed by unwavering belief. You must define your vision down to the detail. Write it, speak it, feel it, walk with it, sleep with it. Become pregnant with the idea until it becomes inevitable. Until the universe bends to your will, not by force, but by frequency. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Why then are you thinking in terms of dollars and cents, lack and limitation, survival and scarcity? You are a transmitter. You are an antenna for divine intelligence. But you must retune yourself. You cannot attract abundance while rehearsing poverty. You cannot embody greatness while clinging to excuses. You cannot rise while shrinking your soul to fit in with people who have no vision. And yet, that is what most do. They betray their potential to belong. They water down their dream to avoid criticism. But understand this, mediocrity will applaud you for staying small and resent you for growing. Let them resent. Let them mock. Let them gossip. You are not here to entertain the masses. You are here to electrify your own destiny. Now is the time. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now change the frequency. Change the story. Change your life. Gratitude is the master key. It is the highest frequency, the invisible magnet that pulls unseen blessings into visible form. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel grateful. That is why they remain stuck. They are operating in reverse. They are demanding evidence before belief. But the men and women who walk in superabundance, Carnegie, Nightingale, Haenel, Keller, they understood Gratitude precedes the gift. When you wake up and give thanks for what is not yet seen, you're not being naive. You're being powerful. You're bending time. You are reaching into the quantum, into the realm of pure potential and signaling, I am ready. I already have it. And the universe answers, not with silence, but with orchestration. But gratitude is not just a morning ritual. It is a way of life. It is the refusal to vibrate at the level of complaint. It is the discipline of perspective, even when storms rage. Because storms always rage. For everyone. The difference is the abundant man sees the storm as fertilizer. The scarcity-minded man sees it as failure. You must train your inner eyes to see opportunity in adversity. Resilience is not some mystical trait. It is built rep after rep, just like muscle. It is forged in the fires of rejection, forged in loss, forged in disappointment, but only by those who refuse to interpret those moments as final. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than most people even enter. But he didn't fold. He formed something unshakable inside, a spirit that no setback could conquer. That's the kind of resilience you need, not the kind that survives, the kind that transforms. When your frequency is tuned to resilience, life can no longer break you. It can bend you, yes, it can test you, but it can't destroy you, because your inner signal is stronger than external noise. And from that place, wealth becomes not just a possibility, but a byproduct. Real wealth is not money in the bank. It's the mind that produces the money, the heart that guides it, the soul that is never enslaved by it. Too many chase riches without becoming rich. They beg for crumbs without realizing they are royalty. They memorize affirmations with their mouths, but speak defeat with their spirit. You must become the embodiment of abundance before you ever see a dollar of it. Because money is a follower. It follows clarity, it follows purpose, it follows alignment. Rockefeller didn't hoard money. He mastered systems. He understood flow. Money flowed to him because he created channels that served millions. You cannot beg for money and be in alignment with wealth. You must offer value, vision, vibration. You must pour yourself into your purpose with such intensity that money becomes an echo, not a pursuit. And this is the paradox. When you stop chasing and start becoming, the world chases you. Success is not something to strive for. It is something to accept. You don't achieve success as much as you tune into it. It already exists, waiting in the realm of higher frequency. But to access it, you must let go of your lower self, your fear, your doubt, your hesitation. Let it die. Let the old version of you dissolve. The one that believed in scarcity, that begged for validation, that feared rejection, let him go. He served his purpose. He kept you safe. But safety is not your calling. Your calling is expansion. Do not apologize for wanting more. Do not shrink because others are uncomfortable with your light. Superabundance is your birthright. And when you rise into it, when you own it, you give others permission to rise too. Your transformation becomes a signal, a ripple, a revolution. Helen Keller once said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing." That statement was not poetic, it was prophetic. It was a declaration from someone who could not see or hear, but lived with more vision than those with perfect senses. And what about you? What excuse dares to stand in your way when Helen Keller became a voice to the world without ever hearing one? What illusion of limitation can possibly survive when Walt Disney was laughed out of a dozen offices before building the kingdom of imagination? What lie of poverty can still deceive you when the richest men in history started with empty pockets and unshakable purpose? You don't need more time. You need more clarity. You don't need more money. You need more alignment. You don't need permission. You need decision. Make the decision now, not to try, not to dabble, but to become. Become the person who is already living the life you crave. Think like them. Move like them. Speak like them. Feel like them. And you will find that life begins to shift, not gradually, but dramatically. The moment you shift your frequency, the world rearranges itself. People appear, ideas ignite, circumstances pivot, not because the world changed, but because you changed your position in it. Frequency is not magic, it is math. It is the natural response of a responsive universe. What you emit, you invite. What you believe, you become. What you focus on, you grow. The laws are clear. It is we who are often cloudy, but not anymore. Right now, you are remembering who you are. You are not a victim. You are not a beggar. You are not a mistake. You are not a statistic. You are a creator, a channel, a living broadcast tower of divine intelligence, and you have the power to choose the signal. Choose abundance. Choose gratitude. Choose bold, relentless faith. And act. Move in the direction of your vision, even if your legs tremble. Speak your affirmations, even if your voice shakes. Walk by faith, not by sight. Because the sight you have now is a reflection of your old frequency. The new world is waiting, but it will not lower itself to meet your doubts. You must rise. You must decide to never again bow to scarcity. Not in your thoughts, not in your words, not in your actions, not in your energy. Because the moment you say enough is enough, the moment you draw the line and refuse to live one more day in energetic poverty, something ignites, something ancient, something unstoppable. And that flame will guide you to a life you never believed possible, but always knew was meant for you. You've lived long enough on the wrong frequency, long enough haunted by bills, haunted by doubt, haunted by the constant gnawing anxiety that you're running out of time, running out of chances, running out of yourself. But the truth is, you've only been out of tune. Your station has been broadcasting scarcity, and life, faithfully, has been echoing it back. But now you reach for the dial, and for the first time, you choose differently. You tune into a new identity, a new reality. You choose to vibrate at the level of power, clarity, peace, conviction, and wealth. You choose the frequency of superabundance. And when you choose that, everything changes. You begin to speak differently, not with the defeated language of the weary, but with the energized tone of a builder, a visionary, a soul on fire. The world feels this. Your aura shifts. People react to you before you even open your mouth. You don't walk into rooms anymore. You command them. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. This is what happens when you stop doubting your worth and start embodying it. Andrew Carnegie once said, "Think of yourself as on the threshold of unparalleled success." Not because success is promised, but because success is summoned. It is the response to a mind and spirit that refuses to live beneath its calling. When you raise your internal ceiling, the external ceiling disappears. Your job is not to chase money, it's to expand capacity, to become the kind of person to whom wealth flows naturally. That's what superabundance is, not just having more, but being more. Becoming so tuned into prosperity that it no longer surprises you. It recognizes you. You become a match for what you once only dreamed of. And the world adapts. Circumstances shift. Resistance weakens. Because you are no longer trying to force life to respond to your fear. You are allowing it to respond to your truth. Imagine waking up each day with the quiet knowing that all your needs are met. That money comes not from toil alone, but from flow. That your work is sacred. That your voice is valuable. That your ideas are currency. That you don't need to beg for crumbs when you're meant to sit at the table of kings. Can you feel that? That is the vibration of superabundance. And it is not reserved for the elite. It is not locked away in vaults or written in bloodlines. It is available. It is accessible. It is already yours, but only if you claim it. And to claim it, you must let go. Let go of the story that you're not good enough. Let go of the illusion that wealth is only for others. Let go of the shame of your past. Let go of the opinions of people who've never built anything. Let go of the safety of smallness. The caterpillar does not negotiate with the cocoon. It breaks through, and so must you. This is your metamorphosis. This is the moment the old identity dies, not with sadness, but with celebration. Because the scarcity version of you was never the real you. It was the masked version, the domesticated version, the version built by other people's fears. But now you return. You remember. You become. Become the frequency of creation itself. Feel it in your chest. Feel it in your breath. The pulse of infinite intelligence beating through your body like electricity through wire. Feel the connection to the same source that lit Edison's lamp, that moved Churchill to speak fire into broken nations, that burned in the heart of Chaplin when the world tried to laugh away the pain. That source is in you. You don't need more information. You need ignition. You don't need another strategy. You need soul. You need to believe so deeply, so obsessively, so irrationally in your power that nothing can stand against it. Because belief is the starting point of all transformation. The moment you believe, truly believe that you are meant for wealth, meant for greatness, meant for more, the universe believes it too. And the game changes. You begin to attract solutions instead of problems. You begin to speak life into situations that once drained you. You begin to build bridges where others saw walls. Because your frequency is no longer reactive. It's generative. You are no longer a mirror. You are the sun. And you shine. Everywhere you go, you illuminate possibility. You don't just talk about change, you are change. You don't just wish for abundance, you emanate it. And in doing so, you awaken others. Because superabundance is not selfish, it is contagious. It becomes a force, a fire, a revolution that moves through homes, cities, nations. But it begins with one soul, one mind, one frequency, yours. The old world ends when you decide it does. The new world begins when you stop waiting and start vibrating. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not powerless. You are aligned. You are activated. You are abundance incarnate. And from this moment on, your life reflects that truth. So walk boldly. Speak with